Just Dance is now an Olympic esport? I'm gonna read the announcement and then get into my feelings about everything. Today, Ubisoft announced a first-of-its-kind cooperation with the World Dance Sport Federation to bring Just Dance 2023 edition to the Olympic Esports series. What am I reading? As a true celebration of the game's competitive legacy, participants for the 2023 edition of the Olympic Esports series will be selected from the talented pool of former Just Dance World Cup top athletes. Oh my God. Selected players will receive a direct invitation to compete for the chance of becoming an Olympic Esports Series winner at the live finals in Singapore from the 22nd to 25th of June. Oh my God. There is so much I want to talk about with this. I'm in complete shock. I can't believe Just Dance competitions are coming back. And with the Olympics, we had the Just Dance World Cups from 2014 to 2019, and then Just Dance announced that they were taking a break from competitions, so I didn't think they were ever coming back. In case anyone didn't know my history with the Just Dance World Cup, I competed in the first edition of it in 2014, and then the following year in 2015, but I never made it past like the semifinals. Since I have some experience with Just Dance esports, there were a few topics that I wanted to touch on. My first question is, how are they going to score this? Because in previous years, they used the Xbox One with Kinect, but now we don't have the game on Kinect. So I'm assuming now it's gonna be held on the Switch. When Just Dance 2023 was leading up to coming out, they were putting some of the songs in Just Dance 22 with Kinect scoring. So maybe there's a possibility that they could create a set list of competition songs that do use the Kinect. Switch scoring is okay, but it's not super accurate, which leads to my next topic. Are we going to have judges? Judges have been used on and off during the Just Dance World Cups, but I truly believe it would make sense to have judges throughout the competition. Most Olympic sports have judges, with gymnastics, diving, and figure skating being a few of them. Dancing is about technicality, but it's also about expression and emotion. I think judges would be fitting to even out how the scoring is distributed. Everyone has different opinions on whether or not judges should be necessary because it's an esport, so therefore your scoring really should be the only thing that matters, but I kind of would like to explain why I feel like judges are important. Not that I'm trying to change anyone's mind, it's just my own opinion on it. It's for two different reasons. One is that in previous years, you had to score well online to qualify to go to the finals. So it doesn't make sense that you then have to prove yourself again with scoring when you get to the finals, because you've already proven yourself in the qualifying rounds. I feel like judges should hold more weight in the semifinals because you've already proven that you're a good scorer. Why would you need to prove it again? My second reason is because some competitors qualify through scoring, but not through the scoring that is used at the finals. So in previous years at the finals, they used the Xbox One with Kinect because it is the most accurate form of scoring. But some competitors qualified from the Wii U, or qualified from the Switch, or qualified from the PS4. And not everyone has enough money to afford to be able to buy an Xbox One with the Kinect and the game to train at home, which means when they go to the finals, they're severely disadvantaged because they don't know how the Kinect works. The Kinect has all these quirks, like if you wear certain fabrics, the Kinect just doesn't detect you anymore. It also seems to like certain colors other than others. It depends on your height and how big your body is. It depends on like how far the Kinect is from where you are. It depends on so many things that you would really need to train with the Kinect to be able to make it far in the finals. And if someone doesn't have a Kinect, then they're kind of left out. So that's why I feel like judging should have a little more weight in the semifinals and the finals than scoring does, but I still want scoring to be like a part of the scoring. That didn't make sense. I still want scoring to be a part of the points distributed. Anyways, that's my personal opinion on judges. I also need more information. The article says more information is coming in the next few months, but the competition is happening in a few months. It's happening in June, and that's 3 months away. I'm curious to know if this has been planned last minute or if this has been planned for a while. It feels kind of last minute with how little details we have and how soon the competition is, but I don't know anything. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the competitors. So unfortunately for new Just Dancers who want to compete, based on the way the article is worded, it seems like it's invitation only based on people who have competed in past World Cups. But that's all the info we have. They didn't specify on how they're picking competitors or how many. I think it would be safe to assume that they would invite the past 2 world champions as well as pretty much anyone who has placed top 3 in all of the competitions. I could also see them inviting anywhere between like 15 to 20 competitors. I feel like that's a pretty decent average amount of people. There are a few things I also want to see and don't want to see in this event. Obviously, I want to see judges, but I want to see judges that are relevant to Just Dance, like dancers in the game, choreographers, or even directors within the game. They need to be people who are aware of Just Dance and how the game works. In the last iteration of the World Cup, they brought in a Twitch vote that would act as like a tiebreaker between 2 contestants if the judges voted for one person and the scoring went to another person. And I do not want to see a Twitch vote brought back for a couple reasons. It favors people with a large following who will vote for that person no matter what. It favors people within the same time zone as where the competition's being held. So say if the competition's held in Singapore, but you live in Canada, everyone you know and love that wants to vote for you might be asleep. And 3, it's just not an accurate way to break a tie, in my opinion. I also really want to see consistent rules throughout the entire competition. That means if they only want points to come from the game score, then they just do that for the entire way through. If they want score and judges, then they use score and judges the entire way through. World Cups have had a history of having inconsistent rules between different countries. Some countries only had an online qualifier, some countries only had an offline qualifier, some countries had score only, some had score and judges. It was so randomized, and it left certain finalists that made it all the way to the grand finals a bit disadvantaged. Like I mentioned before, if you qualified in person on like the Switch, and then you're sent to the grand finals where the scoring is on the Kinect, you might not have any idea the proper clothes to wear, or how the Kinect works, or the best ways to place your bodies so the Kinect actually detects your whole body. The rules, in my opinion, need to be wholly consistent. The last one is not related to organization. It's just something that I've always wanted to see since the first World Cup, but I want to see a woman win so bad. In all 5 years of the World Cup, a woman has never won. The closest we got is Dina and Pamela, who made it to 2nd place, which is obviously still an amazing achievement, but I want to see a woman take the gold. The last topic is, would I go? I would love to go. This is the Olympics. I would never say no to this. I know I said I was retiring from Just Dance competitions, but I've retired and come back before. I'm not against it. I will happily change my mind. I'm just not sure if I would be considered like a good enough competitor to go. Some of us are good competitors, and some of us are better off interviewing contestants and playing with their belly buttons. For the record, I have no idea why I did that. I think I was just really nervous because I had never done live hosting like this before. My belly button is a safe place for me. But if I was offered a spot, I would say yes in a heartbeat. I also just want to see my friends. There are people that I haven't seen for years, not just because of the pandemic, but because I haven't competed in so long. Dina made a video about this announcement, and she actually mentioned something that I hadn't thought of, but neither of us would be here talking to you without the World Cup. When I competed in the first World Cup in 2014 in France, I was sitting in the training room when someone came in and said, "Does anyone here speak English? Because we need someone to commentate the next Just Dance competition round in English." And I said, "I'm not competing in this round, I can commentate." And that was the first time I'd ever heard about Twitch and how it was a website to live stream video games. 2 months later, I did my very first Just Dance stream. And then a month after that, I posted my first Just Dance YouTube channel. And then a few months after that, I became a Ubisoft star player. And 8 years later, this is still my career. I would not be here speaking to you if it wasn't for the Just Dance World Cup. So if they invited me to the next iteration of Just Dance competitions, I would say yes in a heartbeat. Sign me up. Overall, I'm so excited to see a Just Dance competition come back. Even if I don't compete, they are so fun to watch. I'm curious to know what you guys think of the announcement and which competitors you think will be invited. I'm gonna keep an eye out for more information to be released, but until then, I guess we'll just have to sit and wait. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!